Hi guys, I'm Kasha. Welcome to the channel and welcome to our coffee times together. And today I bring you the New Year tag.
It's coffee time!
So this tag, I think it was supposed to be a tag that people would do at the beginning of the year. It is a little bit later, but since I have been tagged by the lovely Kayla from Crack Into a Good Book, I'm gonna leave her channel down below, I decided why not, let's just make the tag. The first question is, how many books do you plan to read in 2020? So last year and the year before, I think since I started Booktube, that's when I really started giving myself a number. So I always put in Goodreads 100 as my number. I think that's achievable and I think that's not pushing myself way too hard. If I don't get to the 100, it's fine. It's just a number so that I can orient myself a little bit throughout the year and see how I'm doing. Last year I did go a little bit over that, so I'm really happy about it. And if I go over the 100 this year, it's gonna be great as well. But like I said, it's just a number to help me see how I'm doing, but it doesn't mean that if I go below I'm gonna be like devastated or anything like that. Number 2 is to name 5 books that you wanted to read in 2019 but it didn't happen, so now you're kind of making them a priority for 2020. And some of these books you've already heard of. I tried to pick some that I've already mentioned and a couple that I didn't, so you get some new names. So the first one is Scythe by Neil Shusterman. I really want to get to that book because everybody's finishing the trilogy and I really want to know, and I have this feeling that I'm really going to enjoy that book, so that will be one of them. Then I wrote A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay. I loved The Cabin at the End of the World so much that I want to read more of his books, and I do own a physical copy of it, so I hope to get that one as well this year. We have A Map of Days by Ransom Riggs because the new book is coming out this year. So I really want to get to that one also because I've owned that copy for a little bit and it's kind of embarrassing at this point. Then we have The Nowhere Girls, which is a heartbreaking story about some girls that have been sexually assaulted, and I want to be in a good state of mind to read that book, but it's a book that I really meant to read in 2019 and it didn't happen, so I hope to have time this year for sure for that one. And the last one is Hidden Bodies by Caroline Kepnes. I read You last year because obviously I wanted to watch the Netflix show, and I bought myself the second book because it's supposed to be like a continuation of the first book, and I was so excited to get to it and then I didn't. So yeah, I would like to read that book as well. Question number 3 is, what genre do you want to read more of? So if you follow my channel regularly, you know this, that you know when I joined Booktube I started like reading a lot of things, especially a lot of YA fantasy and things like that that I had missed, that I had not been reading for years, so that it kind of like caught my attention and I was just curious. And now I'm going back to my horror so I want to read more horror and more thrillers this year because I really enjoy thrillers. My problem with thrillers is that when we are getting to the end, a lot of things start to disappoint me, so if you have any like really good thriller recommendations, please leave them down below. Next is to name 3 goals that you have that are non-book related, so 3 goals for 2020. The first one would be to start saving up to buy a house with my boyfriend, which we already started doing, and you know we're already looking at options to get help from the bank and stuff like that. So basically saving up as much as I can this year. The second thing is to finally get out of this dark space that I went into at the beginning of 2020. A lot of negative stuff, a lot of bad luck that I started to have in 2020 has kind of pushed me into this dark hole, and it's taking me longer than usual to get over it and you know start being happy again. So I feel much better now, but I still have, you know, a little bit still to fight and get to the mental state that I was last year. So yeah, we're working on that. And the third thing would be basically just to go back to my regular gym routine that I had last year, because since everything that started happening in 2020, I was not in the mental or physical state to really go work out. So I have been kind of missing a lot of my regular training. So I would like to go back to that as well, because going to the gym helps me a lot also when it comes to my mental happiness. Number 5 is to name a book that you've had since forever but you still have not read, and that would be Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. I have it somewhere here, hold on. So I bought this book a long time ago, and it's been on my shelves for a long time. Every time I have made it like a book purge, I was like considering letting it go, but then I'm like, but if I ever want to read it, you know, I don't want to have to pay for it again because I already bought it once. So yeah, I've been really debating if I should read this or not. So maybe you guys can help me if you read it, if you think I will enjoy something like this. Let me know in the comments down below. Obviously, the reason for the purchase of this book is that I love Harry Potter. I know this has nothing to do with Harry Potter at all, but you know, it's things you do because, you know, you like the Harry Potter book so much. If the author comes up with a new book, you just buy it. That's how it works. Number 6 is one word that you hope 2020 will be, and that is for me change, because a lot of bad things again have happened this year, and so I am welcoming change in my life. There's many things right now that, you know, are in development, like considering getting a house with my boyfriend, and a lot of things I want to change about my life, and like also a couple of things I would like to change on my YouTube channels, on both of them. And so it's a year that I just want to see as a year of change. Change is scary but it can also be a wonderful thing. So for me, 2020, I hope it's going to be the year of change for the better. Number 7 is basically to tag a friend. So anybody that's watching this tag and would like to still do it, even though we're not really at the beginning of the year anymore, please feel free to do it. I'm gonna leave the questions down below in the description so that you can easily do this tag if you want. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the tag. Let me know in the comments down below what would be your word for 2020. Let's talk about it down below in the comments. And before you leave, and if you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell before you leave. All my other social media links can be found as well in the description box down below for you guys. And I hope to see you all in the next copy time. Bye!